Hey there, if you're watching this video, then I probably told you that you need to either do a cord cutting or a release ritual. And I have told my clients so many times that these things are needed. And then they always say, well, how do I do that? And I explain, but I thought it might be easier just to make a video that we can use over and over. So I'm at my tarot shop in what I consider to be a very comfortable place. It's also a quiet place. It's not the most quiet in the shop. I could have went to the back, but I have natural light right here. I can kind of hear some birds, a little bit of nature, and I personally like that. I like that with my rituals. If you want to get somewhere more quiet, it's totally up to you. So the first thing that you're going to do is, and you don't have to watch me past this point. Once I kind of get into position, then you can just listen to my voice and we'll kind of be in like a hypnosis state. But I like to get as comfortable as possible. Now, what comfortable is to you may be totally different than me. You can lie down. I kind of like to bend a leg. Sometimes I'll grab a blanket, or I might have my emotional support puppy right here to help me out. Whatever is going to make you the most comfortable so that you can get into a deep state. Now, with these two types of rituals, the first one, they're visualizations. The first one is going to be more of if you would like to just release all of the negatives that are connected to a person, but you would like to keep that connection with them. So maybe this is a loved one who you love dearly. You want to still be connected with them in this life and the next life, but you have a history together. They've hurt you. Some things have went on, and you would like to let go of that. Okay, some of that you're holding. So that's the first step. And then we'll take it a little step further in the second part, and that is for connections that you would like to end. So I see this a lot with people who have been sexually abused by people. They have been physically and emotionally abused by people. People that have very severe addictions that they're just causing you a lot of struggle and chaos. Now, I will say this, it doesn't have to be forever. You can leave the disconnect and it can be forever, but it doesn't have to be. So let's say later on you'd like to reestablish this connection, totally fine, right? You can. You can always pick it back up. But if you want to be totally done, you can be totally done. So there's both options. All right, so what I want you to do is get into a very comfortable state. And you will probably hear things going on around you in your environment, in my environment, because I did not wear my mic, but I did that purposefully because I actually think a little bit of noise can help this sync. So the first thing I want you to do is to take 6 breaths in and out. And when you're breathing in, you're going to hold that breath. You're going to get that tummy as full as possible, like Santa. Fill that belly all the way up, and then when you let it out, it's like you're blowing out a candle. You're going to let it all the way out until you kind of feel that sink in. So do that a few more times. And when you're ready, I want you to imagine yourself standing on a stage. As if you're starring in a Broadway play. What version of you shows up is totally up to you. Sometimes I see myself as a little girl, sometimes a teenager, sometimes my current version, and sometimes I even see myself in a future version. But I want you to see yourself in the most beautiful version of that self. So take a moment while breathing in and out to get the most beautiful version of you that you can imagine. And you're looking out into the audience, and it's like a huge auditorium with seats as far back as you can see. They just keep going and going and going, and they're filled. And everyone in every seat is just smiling at you. There's no negativity, there's no fear. You feel confident. You're radiating love, and love is radiating back at you. And as you look into the crowd, you realize that these are not just random people, these are people that you know. In fact, every single person that you've ever met in your entire life is in this audience. The front row is filled with the most influential people, your family members, your friends, lovers, people that have made a huge impact on you. And as it goes back, you have acquaintances, co-workers, childhood friends, even past pets that have crossed over to the Rainbow Bridge. Everyone here, even those who have passed over, currently on this planet or not, they are sitting in the audience, and they are looking up at you. And now I want you to imagine a stream of green light going from your heart and then branching out like a tree, kind of connecting centrally to the hearts of everyone there. So you'll have hundreds of thousands, of 10,000s of branches. You can make these look like cords. They can look like string. If there's something more beautiful that you want to imagine them as, it's totally up to you. And you'll notice that green light is flowing through the strands from them and to them. And on your next in-breath, I want you to give a general push of love, which is green energy, and forgiveness to everyone in the audience as a whole. Just imagine that you're like shooting it out through those strands. And now, starting with the front row, you will call out and ask that someone come up that you need to either forgive, release, or cut a tie with. And that's exactly how I ask it. I'm not specific in my first call out. I say, will somebody join me that I need to forgive, release something with, or someone that I need to cut a tie with. I don't call a specific person forward. I just see who comes forward. And in this particular case, for me, my mother has come forward. Whoever it is for you is who it is for you. Now, your options here are totally up to your comfort zone. You can stand with them face to face, looking them in the eye. You can sit with them Indian style on the floor. You could sit with them like in a podcast type of environment. Whatever it is that makes you most comfortable. In my visualization, I'm holding hands with my mother. She is at the age that she started to struggle with drugs and alcohol, and she abandoned me, which was my exact age. It's around the age that I am right now. So I'm seeing her at my age. And now in my mind, I'm going to send a message to her. And I won't say this out loud because I want you to be able to focus on sending your own message to your person. But it could be something like that. I understand. Now that I'm her age and I've lost people, I could understand how a divorce and a loss of siblings and death and the losing of a home, how all of that could lead her to looking for substances to fill that void. And that because I can understand now, I couldn't understand as a little girl, but now I can understand, I can empathize with her, and I can forgive. Now, let's say you have a situation that you don't want to forgive. Maybe this person has done something horrific to you, and you just would rather express to them how much they hurt you. And how, because of how much they hurt you, that you are having to end that connection with them. That's fine as well. This does not have to be a forgiveness exercise. Or let's say you just want to tell them how much they've hurt you and that you would like to move on, but you don't want to say the words forgiveness. That's fine too. The only difference in what we're going to do is that if you would like to keep the connection, then at the end, you're going to either give them a hug or hold their hand, or it doesn't even have to be physical. You can just wave them goodbye and wish them well. Whereas at the end of the connections you would like to end, you're going to take scissors and a torch. You will cut the string and burn it. And you will say, I'm unbound from you forever. So I'm going to give you a moment to imagine your own connection. Ask someone to come forward and just acknowledge whoever comes. It may not be the person you expected, and that is okay. Walk through this ritual with them. If you hear sounds in your house or even in my environment, just ignore those and focus in on what you have to say to this connection. And you are still sending green light from your heart through the string to their heart. If you need more time with this, you can pause the video. And if not, you can finish however you wish. and either send them back to the audience or dismiss them from the auditorium at stage left. I'm allowing my mother to retake her seat. She's smiling. She's in a much better state. But if you have disconnected from someone that you don't want to see again, well, tell them to hit the road. Now open your eyes for a second. I realized because I was talking and there was noise, you wouldn't have been able to probably fully experience this ritual. And that wasn't my point. I wanted to just be able to kind of walk you through it, knowing though that you will have to silently and by yourself, and probably for an extended period of time, you will have to go through this ritual. If I was doing this, once I sent my mother back to her seat, I would call the next person. You may have to do this for many days in a row, or maybe you want to assign just one day a week that you would like to work on this. Because it could take many, many days, because I promise you, more and more people will come up. People that you probably have forgotten about, people that you didn't even realize that you have some type of grudge or some type of um, something that needs to be healed. I don't know the exact phrasing. Something that needs to be healed. And you may have to practice this more than once with the same person. But my hope for you is that the whole point is to release the tie that they have with you, that energetic tie. Um, and I encourage you, for people that you want to go no contact with, that you think that you might establish later, to still cut the cord. You don't have to say the forever aspect. You can say, we are cut unless I reestablish. And so I think that that can be really helpful. Taking yourself back to that stage, when you finish, I want you to imagine drawing back those strings to yourself, almost like a recoil of a leash. You'll do this every time you finish this exercise. I want you to take a bow as the audience gives you a standing ovation. They throw flowers your way. They're happy. They think you've done such good work. And then the curtain will close. And that's how you will end this exercise, is with the curtain closing. I hope that this was helpful for you. I really encourage you to practice it on your own this week. This is something that I think can help so many of us. I've done this many times, but even sitting here today, I feel a sense of peace with my mother. And I plan to go do this with a few family members once I stop the recording. If you have specific questions about this or something that I did not cover, feel free to ask me, and I'll clarify as much as I can.